I'm Tom.
And we're VIMTV, Velocities in Music, the best kept secret in music reviews. Tom and I have an affinity for post-rock. Integrated branch of post-rock, or is post-metal, which is just heavier post-rock in my opinion.
That's what I'd say.
The idea of these post-genres is that you have more progressive rock songwriting without vocals. It's supposed to be emotional, emotion-driving, and really have a lot of just rocking guitar, very organic-sounding rock music. And that is exactly what the band Russian Circles does. They are a post-metal band that has now put out 5 albums. Today we're going to review for you their 5th album, Memorial. And this album definitely takes what they did with 2011's Empress and builds upon it. In that they're kind of going for a different approach to this album. But Tom, how would you describe Russian Circles as a band? What makes them I know you're a big fan of Russian Circles. So what is it about them that you like so much?
Well, to answer that question, I'm going to jump back to when I actually got to see these guys live back in February. I can't believe it's been like almost a year since that show. But they were incredibly good live. If you ever get the chance to see these guys live, they're great.
I would love to see them live.
What's impressive about it is that they're a 3-piece. And you have these very complex songs. A lot of energy in the live performance. The guitarist obviously has to use some loop pedals to get all the different guitar layers working in there.
He doesn't look loopy though.
No, he doesn't.
Okay.
He's right on point.
Right.
You can't actually be like wasted and do that, right?
I don't think he can. He's very technical.
He's probably done it before though. Let's face it, it's a rock band. But that experience, while I like this band to begin with, really just kind of opened up my eyes to maybe a little bit of the songwriting process for them. Because obviously to write a song in any kind of rock format, you have to start with playing something. You have to start with playing something live. So just to be able to kind of see how that might work between the trio was really neat. But what they do, particularly on Memorial, as far as the song composition goes, kind of drawing from their last album, Empress, which we both really liked. We reviewed that when it came out, and it was one of my favorites of the year, is I felt like on this album, within each track, they take the sound in a lot more different places. It's more expansive on an album level, on a track level, where Empress, certainly there was progression within the tracks. I felt like each track was very much still its own kind of entity. They even flowed into each other, but they flowed into each other in a way that you could tell when one track was stopping and one track was starting.
Right, this is a whole nother ball.
Oh yeah, and it's just the whole thing straight through. It's engaging. You get wrapped up in it, and because there's so many shifts within each song, it's a little bit harder to tell where those boundaries are.
Yeah, and not only that, I think that Memorial just rocks less hard than their previous efforts. I mean, this album really focused. I mean, the band was clearly consciously focusing on taking the softer parts of their music and expanding on that. And what they did is they made it more atmospheric, they made it more mellow, and they added, very dark, moody melodies that really I find add a great balance, and I want to describe this move using a football analogy from my beloved Green Bay Packers team.
All right.
Aaron Rodgers is now hurt, but before that, the plan was I have this great passing attack. Oh, great, one-dimensional. You're doing this really cool thing that everyone likes to see, but people can figure it out real quick, and it gets kind of boring after a while. So what do? They get a running back that can actually run the ball. So you actually have 2 sides to their offense, which makes them very potent. The same is true for music. If you can create an album that has very, very loud, rocking high points and very, very soft, moody low points, it actually brings out the best of both worlds. And that is exactly what Russian Circles does on Memorial. And it's something that I really, really respect. I felt like the high moments of tracks like Deficit or even Burial, I felt like they were so much higher and so much more potent than on Empress, whereas Empress just rocked me the whole time and I really liked it. This, I just had a lot more balance, and that it's in that balance that I feel like the band achieves their most impactful state. The softer parts of Memorial were simply beautiful. There's moments on this album where I'm just like, it gives me chills, it gives me goosebumps, and that to me is the most important most important part of post-rock or post-metal, because they don't have a vocalist. The whole point of this is to conjure emotions in you, and they have to do it through their performance, through their songwriting, through how they their presentation of their songs, and that is exactly what Russian Circles does in Memorial. They absolutely nailed that balance.
I really think that these guys are just at the top of their game in the post-metal genre. They can just do no wrong right now. I mean, all of their albums are good. They keep progressing. They keep changing their sound. I will say I probably liked Impros a little bit better than this one, just because I felt like there was a little bit more to latch onto track by track. But at the same time, as an album, this whole thing straight through, it's like you said, I'm just listening to it and I just get wrapped up in it. I don't want to listen to anything else. And all of a sudden I look at the screen. I listen to this on my computer at work a lot. And all of a sudden I'm on track 5 and I don't even know how I got there.
Right.
And that's a great thing.
And that's something to point out. This is only a 37-minute album, but I feel like what it accomplishes in 37 minutes is pretty vast.
Yeah.
If I had any complaints about this album, it's that they could have added at least one more like heavier track. It could have had a little bit more of that edge. They almost went too soft with it. But still, I think that's what makes this so dynamic and so balanced. So I think that's a minor complaint at best. One thing that I love that they did was they bookended the album by track 1 Memoriam and track 8 the self-titled track Memorial, which features Chelsea Wolfe a little bit on vocals. Nothing too extravagant, just nice kind of moody, airy vocals.
It works. It works with their style.
It actually does. It works great. And that was apparently inspired by Pink Floyd's album Animals and the Pigs on the Wing track. So, and I think that's awesome. They pay homage to Pink Floyd, one of the best bands ever.
Yeah.
It just does a nice job of really making a good albumized listening experience. This thing is fluid. You put it on and can let the whole thing play, and it doesn't feel like a taxing effort. It's very I think kind of overwhelming at times how well written this is. Because of that, I'm going to go 83.
I'm going 80.
So, mid-80s for us. That means it's a must-listen album. If you're into post-rock or post-metal, you have to go out and check out Memorial by Russian Circles. This is a fantastic release, and we're really pumped up about it. Let us know your thoughts at www.velocitiesandmusic.com or youtube.com/velocitiesandmusic. As always, follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, and let us know what albums you'd like to see us review on this channel. I'm Jake.
I'm Tom.
And we are VIMTV, moving music critique forward.